Okay. So here we are with Dr. Ruhi, this time on YouTube. Doctor, before I begin, we will have different people coming to our session today. So let's get a brief introduction from you.
Sure. First of all, thank you for having me again, this time for YouTube. It is
Pleasure.
always a pleasure, doing sessions with you guys because, first of all, the topics that you pick up are very, very relevant. And the second thing is, I love the energy that your team has. They all want to do something good. So it's always, good to be associated with people who have the same drive that you carry. So that's lovely. So I'm really grateful and I'm happy that I'm a part of, whatever you guys are doing. And as to introduce myself, I am Dr. Ruhi Satija. I am a psychiatrist and a counseling therapist by profession. And I'm a mind wellness mentor, which means that apart from writing the medications, I do counseling as well as I do training programs to help you, prevent all those mental health disorders that we have. I'm a new mom and I'm also an expert in perinatal mental health. And I'm working with Cloud9 Hospital in Mumbai. And I have my own practice as well. And I'm working online too.
Excellent. So today we are going to be specifically talking about a topic. Usually when we start with Dr. Ruhi, we have a little generic, topic, and then we move on to something specific. But today we are going to straight away hit on the cloud that is hanging over all children and parents during February, March, and maybe April as well. And that is exam stress and anxiety.
Nice.
I know, people try to see a lot of information online. They try to do a lot of things on their own and come up with things to, reduce that pressure, reduce that tension. But definitely coming from an expert, it would be really helpful for them to know what are the real practical things that they can do in real life to be able to overcome this. Yeah.
Right.
First of all, we start with what are actually exam jitters, which is the common name for stress and anxiety during exams. So can you tell us about that?
Right. I'm very happy that we are starting with these questions because you use jitters, stress, and anxiety together, right? We all do that. But to be honest, they are all very, very different things. And it's very important to know the difference between these three things, because if we don't, that is the reason we mess up. So all these stories that we hear that, patients or students going in depression, or sometimes we hear of the worst of the consequences where we hear, some kid has taken some complicated step like suicide, or they have ideations, or they are hurting themselves. It is because we didn't understand the difference between the jitters and the anxiety.
Yeah, of course.
Okay? So we need to first of all be very clear on what these three things are. Then the rest everything will be very, very easy to understand. Okay? So whenever we have an exam, whether it is in education system, we talk about the pen and paper, and interviews are a little bit difficult. And you can also correlate this with a professional or a practical life as well. Right. Whenever we are given a situation where we have to prove ourselves in anything, right? It comes with a set of expectations, of course, right? And it comes with a set of nervousness that I might not come up with the expectations that I have for myself. Right. So that nervousness is, if it is to a limit, it's helpful because that motivates you to do better. Correct. Yeah. That is what we call as positive stress, right? Yeah. Right? So that causing little bit of, nervousness before exam, that, oh my God, how it will go, whether I'll be able to perform, and all is all jitters. And that's normal. Yeah. For that, I'll teach some techniques in the end. You'll get sorted. Don't worry about it. Yeah. Okay. But now let's say the stress has increased. It can be external stress, where we talk about parents putting pressure on you, your peers putting pressure, the social, all our neighbors are more interested in us than their own. Right? Especially in India, Sharma ji ka ladka is the most important concept that we have, right? कि पड़ोसी के बच्चे का क्या हुआ, तुम्हारा होना चाहिए और तुम्हारा नहीं, कितने मार्क्स मिले. Exactly, that's what we say ना, शर्मा जी का लड़का. There's a whole meme series on this. ये हो रहा है, right? Now you have to understand कि ये हो गया external stressor. Then it is your internal stressor, where your exam result became more than your exam result. Now what that means? You have attached your ego, your self-worth to that exam. Yeah. I'll give practical examples also to understand. Okay. Yeah. Now this becomes stress. Now, for some people who can still have some, mental capacity to deal with it, they will perform, but their performance will become a bit lower. No doubt about it. Okay. Right. But now let's say it has been 2-3 years that you have been trying to ace, and then you're the topper of the batch and you're expected to crack IIT in the first place. Then it has had it. Okay.
Yeah.
Now you will start having emotional and physical symptoms as well. Now, what does that mean? Okay. Procrastination. You will not feel like studying. You're sitting in front of the book, your mind is somewhere else. You read everything, you don't remember anything. You freeze in the exam, right? These are all stress reactions, right? Apart from that, even if you know you have to do it, parents will complain, iska paper hai, ye TV dekhta rehta hai. Why are they watching it? Because they need an escape. The mind has had it. They need some escape, and our screens are the easiest escape that we have, because it literally gives us the escape that we want. Right. So that is the stress that we talk about, that your performance goes really low. You want to perform, you don't know how to, because no matter how much you're trying, and then slowly what happens is you give up. First you give up emotionally, or worst case scenario, you start getting anxiety now. Now, what is anxiety? The first is mental, that you're overthinking a lot. You're always having, negative thoughts that something will go wrong. Nothing has happened, and you're imagining the worst case scenario. If you are doing that, at least in the last 2 weeks, you need to go to a professional. It doesn't take years for anxiety to develop. 1 week is enough.
Yeah, definitely.
Emotionally, sometimes, practically also physically, what they feel is a little bit of choking, heart pacing, the pulse increases. You feel there's something here, a little bit of pain in severe situations. You're not able to eat properly. Even if you eat, it doesn't get digested. Your sleep gets impacted. You start gaining weight. Sometimes you start losing weight, depending on, what your physiology is. You start losing interest in the things that you used to like. Now, this is extreme. This is a mental health issue. What is anxiety?
Right.
So it's very important to know the three, and it can be a spectrum for somebody that it started with jitters, then became stress, then became anxiety, or it can directly shoot to anxiety. कि 12th तक बिल्कुल अच्छा था, उसके बाद पता नहीं क्या हुआ है, college जाते ही, he is not serious. No, he wants to be serious, but it's just not in his capacity. The body just gives up. The system just gives up. Okay. So this is the basic understanding of these three things, and it's important to know the signs.
And there would be times, doctor, when we actually would be at the more serious stage, but we refuse to acknowledge it, and then there is one blast of an emotion that comes out. So are there any such signs that tell us that no, you are beyond a limit, you've moved ahead from jitters to stress, or you moved ahead from stress to anxiety, unknown signs that we can know?
Right. So see, there was a study done by NIMHANS in India, and on an average, they discovered that a person suffering mostly for depression, they did, but it is more or less the same for others. In fact, worse for other mental health issues. They found out that it takes 8 years for a person from the first symptom to reaching the psychiatrist office. 8 years. Imagine. Right? For somebody having a cough or a fever, it won't take 8 minutes to pick up and call the doctor. Abhi emergency hai, abhi medicine chahiye, right? We don't even care if the doctor is sleeping or at a dinner with family. It's an emergency. But imagine how much trauma we endure. And now you have to understand why it is important in kids. Kids' brain is forming. Okay. If it happens in adults now, it is easier to solve it because they have grown with a healthier mind. If a child is brought up in a stressful environment or with anxiety, the brain is formed under the influence of those stress hormones and in that environment. So changing that pessimistic attitude is very difficult. Their whole personality is formed that way. So even if they come for treatment later, I'll solve their anxiety, they won't be anxious, medications, therapy, whatever I need to do. But changing that wiring, that that default pattern of anytime something difficult comes in life, I have to think of the worst case scenario. Breaking that takes energy like anything. It takes months and years to come out of it, which people don't realize.
Of course.
5 marks less in an exam has nothing. It has no impact. We were all told, 10th standard ke marks, oh my God, life changing. Then 12th standard. I don't think
How many
anybody
times
has.
we use it? Yeah.
Even now, when you ask my introduction, did you ask me what degrees I have? Just ask me, Kiran, what is the type of my work? That too, I'm in a capacity, so I'm saying it. Otherwise,
Yeah.
if we were just having a discussion, there was no need of that as well, right?
Yeah.
And that's the reality of life.
Yeah.
And if you compare the successful people versus unsuccessful people, many of them who are, not educated in some formal college are doing very well.
Yeah, of
My
course.
father is a
Yeah,
businessman who
many
is a
such examples. Yeah.
Exactly. So my own father is a graduate, and he started working at 17, and he did graduation with his, whatever the long distance one. He's
Yeah.
much more smarter and successful than I am. Very honestly, like, even if you talk about the financial success, oh my God, I literally asked him, why did you even ask me to become a doctor? I should have just become your assistant and I would have been, doing much better in life. That's the truth. It is not a degree that makes you successful.
Yeah.
It is your own qualities.
Yeah,
It is
of
your
course.
own knack for being successful, your
Yeah.
own internal strengths.
Yeah.
But somebody who has been in stressful, and I have seen that in my personal life as well. I was a very average student. मतलब डॉक्टर तो सोच भी नहीं सकते. I was like, ठीक है, graduation कर लेंगे, right? And then here I am today, and I remember many of my schoolmates who excelled in academics like anything throughout their life. And after 12th, they just barely did some graduation somewhere. And even after that, I never heard that they did anything substantial
Yeah.
in their life, which is very disappointing and very astonishing. That what happened to that person, that,
Yeah.
that is the thing, because the
Yeah.
education for them was not about academics. It was about
Exactly.
their own identity
Yes, exactly.
that gets shattered.
Yeah.
Right. So it's very important to understand these things about the science. Like I said, internally, when you feel you're not yourself, that's your cue. Somewhere you will know कि यार कुछ तो गड़बड़ है. I'm trying to be happy, I'm not able to. I'm trying to do something, I'm not able to. These are the subtle clues, and the patient knows कि कुछ गड़बड़ है. But this acceptance takes.
Correct. Yeah.
Right?
You know
And
that,
then
okay,
the family also
pulling you away or something like that. So
exactly. And then what happens is when you are seeing your child has an exam and he has been good in studies, and now he's watching TV, instead of scolding him and blaming him, understand why he's doing it.
right.
And maybe, provide that shoulder that they need to lean on in that moment, so that they can come out of it faster. Because if you also blame, first of all, you don't know what to do with them, how will they know what to do with themselves? They are kids, right?
Yeah.
We expect them to have answers. How is it even possible? If as a parent you don't know what is anxiety, educate yourself. That is why awareness, what you are doing, what we do, that talking about it is very important. Because you hear something and you remember, oh, acha, see, that day they were saying something like that. Aisa hai kya? And many patients now come that way. They have seen some life somewhere and they say, madam, that day you said, now it made sense to me. Is it anxiety? Is it depression? And then when we check, we said, yes, you have been anxious and you have been depressed.
So actually that kind of brings me to my next thought, rather more than a question, is that there are parents who try to help their children to overcome these things. Then there are other parents who kind of, in the process add on to the anxiety and the stress of their children. So what are these things that either the external environment or the parents do that make it worse for children? And what are some of the things that parents can do to make it better for them? So,
the first thing that they need to do is stop putting the baggage of your insecurities and your dreams on your kids. हम ना अपने बच्चे इससे पैदा करते कि हमने जो नहीं करा वो करेंगे. That's the worst thing that we can do to our kid. Telling them पैदा होते कि this is who you are supposed to be. Imagine, you don't even know how a baby was made, right?
Yeah.
Some god or whatever you believe in brought that whole human being out. I am a doctor and I gave birth and I still can't believe that, this came out of me. It's beautiful, right? How magnificent is that? And my kid is today 2-year-old, and the things that he does, oh my God, like how is it even possible? And that is the first, even, this is a very, very important realization that even I had now. My kid is 2-year-old. He knows when he's upset. He knows when he's happy. He's so intuitive. If he can see I'm not smiling, he comes and gives me kisses. Here, mama is, now mama is happy when I'm smiling. My question is, if we were that smart when we were 2-year-old, what the hell happened to us later? we become 18 and 20 and we have no idea where life is going. And my 2-year-old
Burden of
knows everything in the morning, that what he wants to do, when he wants to do, when he wants to sleep, when he wants to read his book, he does everything. So what the hell happened to us? What happened to us is we kept on taking in the idea of others of who we are supposed to be.
Yeah.
Right? And then we kept on giving in. Because
yes,
we got the conditional love. Parents loved us when we produced results because they, they could flaunt it. And when we were not doing anything, right?
Then it becomes, अरे नहीं हम तो हमारे बच्चे पे प्रेशर डालते ही नहीं है, जबकि अंदर मन में you are like इसने मार्क्स क्यों नहीं लाया, I'm embarrassed.
Everybody knows what they are doing behind the doors. Okay, चलो counselor के सामने आके नहीं accept करना, it's okay, but this is a life, so nobody is pointing it out to anyone. Understand this, अगर आपके साथ में लाइफ में कुछ बुरा हुआ था because of which you feel education is important, first of all it doesn't mean कि वही बुरा उसके साथ में होने वाला है. And now the times are very different. My 18-year-old cousin who is not even a graduate is doing something on social media and earning more than me, and I'm like, what? Seriously, there's something wrong today.
Yeah, it's very different now.
It's very different now, and it was different in the last generation as well. The traumas that our parents had to go through, we didn't have to go through any of that.
Of course,
isn't it? So we need to understand that we need to stop putting our own insecurities and burden and expectations on them. यार मेरे से नहीं हुआ तो वो करेगा, क्यों करेगा? Tax थोड़ी देने के लिए आया है यहाँ पे, right? Our kids don't owe us anything. We decided to have children for our own good. We have children for ourselves. आपके reasons different हो सकते हैं. For me, it was just a joy of experiencing motherhood. For them, it is security. कि यार मैं बूढ़ा होऊंगा, मेरे साथ कौन रहेगा? Very fair. But तुम उसको torture इतना कर दोगे कि जब तक वो होगा तब तक तुम्हारे साथ रहेगा ही नहीं, तो फायदा क्या है? It's an unnecessary investment that you made, right?
You're literally pushing them away.
Yes. So don't do that. So don't add to the pressure. And second thing is, the results in your academics, whatever you are doing, in whatever field, is just one part of your life. Stop making it a, certificate of who you are as a person. The first time that I failed in my academics was 7th standard. I failed in social studies. Yes. 11th standard, so I didn't pass only. And today I am a psychiatrist. And I openly say this to every parent so that they understand it has nothing to do with that marks. It has to do with the fact that how much hard work did I put in after failing, how much I was okay with failing and coming back. Exactly. So fail ho gaye, let me see what I can do. Right? My reasons were different, but okay, whatever the reasons were, the fact that I was okay with coming back after that and thinking, yaar, main padh bhi sakti hu, that itself is great. Na? Where did I get that strength? It was my parents. When I failed, my mama it was maths. The first time I scored less was mathematics. And my mom, I was very ashamed. I was a 90s student till a time, and then something happened. For a few years, I, lost my track. I showed my marks to my mom, and she was like, "Arey, mere ko nahi aaj tak aaya, tujhe kaise aayega?" I can't forget that day. My mom is somebody who never scolds, but I am scared of her the most in my life. My mom has never scolded me in her life. She's like the most chilled out person, and she's the only one I'm scared of because I'm so scared of hurting her. And
that's what makes the difference, actually.
Exactly, right? Because that is the unconditional love you get. Now, then you can't risk hurting them. I remember that specific moment that she was very much okay with me failing, and that has given me the strength. Ki, even if I fail, kya karna hai? Mummy ko hi to batana hai. You have to build that trust with your kid के winning में तुम्हारे पास आए या नहीं आए, जब fail होगा तुम्हारे ही पास सबसे पहले आए कि यार मम्मी बचाएगी. You have to build that, because see, the whole world is there to ridicule them, na? The whole world is there to judge them. You should not do it. You brought up the baby. It's your reflection. You need to love them unconditionally. Academics, no academics. Height, no height. Color, no color. Every dimension you put it. It is your bloody child. You should be the first cheerleader to your kid. You remember Einstein's mother? You know the story, right?
Not really.
So Einstein was not very good at school, na? He was always in his own head in school, and the teachers actually said he cannot study. Isko school se nikal do. And the mother always said that no, he's a genius. And he supported him. That nahi padhna, mat padho jaake. And look at where he is. That fear of failing is there in kids because they feel they're going to disappointing the ones that they love, right? और अगर आपने वो डिसअपॉइंटमेंट का फैक्टर हटा दिया ना कि यार इट्स जस्ट समथिंग दैट यू आर ट्राइंग, हो जाए, अच्छी बात है, नहीं हो आ जाना, immediately all the stress is gone.
I think
It is something
actually there was a time when good marks were linked to having a successful career and being able to survive better in life, and so those were the things which somehow got related, God alone knows how, because actually it did not matter so much before, and then suddenly there was this wave of where all children have to be either doctors or engineers, or so they need to get that score. And that's what changed everything.
See, till the British era, anyways, we were only given the jobs that were, either the really rich in the India could afford education, others were just in the lower middle class.
Right,
When the middle class came, they are the one in crisis. See, upper class is always comfortable. Lower class is always comfortable because government इतना सब कुछ provide कर देती है ना. It is the middle class that has to work for survival actually. हमें लगता है कि lower class के साथ बहुत issues है. You have to see the struggles, right? The middle class is like beach mein, sandwich ban raha. What happened was some of the fields were there who gave short security. That if you're a doctor, kuch na kuch to ban jayega, right? So we understand that. But that doesn't mean wo nahi hai to nahi banega. That's the first thing. And second thing is, if everybody will be a doctor, who will be the patient? Right? So you have to see it this way. If your kid is good at something, only pursue that. For example, now today I'm a psychiatrist. Psychiatry was my only option. Trust me, if I would have been a medicine doctor, I would have been very bad at it. Very bad. I'm openly because I don't have that attitude of, being in an emergency situation and handling it very well. I'm very good with mental health patients. Because that level of empathy I have. Now, if the same level of empathy I'll have as a surgeon, mere to knife lagate hue haath ka. I can't give a good injection till today. Because my empathy is very high, but it works perfectly in mental health field.
Mental health,
so find out what your kid is made of. That is
the main thing. So, doctor, what are some of the things that parents or children themselves can do? Any exercises or something that they can do to overcome the stress at the time of the exam? Because obviously, you may be good, but then this stress actually affects your performance as well, right? So what is it that these children or parents can do to make this anxiety or stress just go down a little so that, there is productivity?
Right. So that's a very important question. And I'll give specific techniques they can literally put in their timetable and it will help them. Okay.
Right.
The first thing is you need to relax. You can't be stressed and relax at the same time. Simple logic. It's not that, I'm beautifying it anything. Can you be happy and sad at the same time? No. You can't be stressed and relax at the same time. So simple, agar stress nahi hona, to relax ho jao. Bring your body and your mind to a level that you can't get stressed. So nahi hoga na. Now, how do we do that?
How do we do that?
Easily, you can listen to music, you can watch movies. Now, while studying, you can't do that, right? One thing is add background music that relaxes you. Second thing is stretches, yoga, walk in any way. Physically moving. What happens is 12 ghante pad rahe hain, that whole, the body gets fatigued. So open up your body, physically move. That will release the stress and add some endorphins in your body that will calm it down. Third thing is breathing techniques. Yoga mein pranayam hai. There is box breathing, 2:4 breathing. Do any of it. Start doing it a few weeks earlier than your exam.
Okay.
Every day do it at least twice a day. That means as soon as you wake up, first thing you do is breathe. Start your day on the right note and finish it on the right note.
Right.
And in between, if you can do that, is perfect. Okay. So these divide it into parts. So instead of doing 30 minutes at a time, do it 10, 10, 10, 10. So 4 times a day, you have consciously done something to relax yourself.
Right. Yeah.
Then coming to this point that you need to take frequent breaks. Okay. So every 1.5 hour, at least 5 to 10 minutes of active break. Active break means no social media or no TV. Going out. Getting the sunlight, getting fresh air, and getting water. Right? Then is hydration. One of the most common cause of fatigue, headaches, low concentration, low productivity, and laziness is dehydration.
Wow.
Yes, people don't realize how important water is.
See,
when you get thirsty and you drink water, that means already the body is deficit of 10% water.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So you don't have to become thirsty. Keep on sipping water. Keep it with yourself. Keep on sipping it. Mix some water, lemon and everything with water. So that will help you in, because otherwise it gets difficult to gulp that much. Keep
Yeah.
yourself very, very hydrated. Second is more raw foods. Fruits, boiled soups. These are
Wow.
anyways, known for releasing the stress.
Okay.
Yes. And the junk food adds to the stress. Also, it reduces the productivity. Why? Because then for digestion, your blood needs to go in the GIT for a
Correct.
longer time. And if
Yeah.
it is here, it won't come here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
getting the food right, smaller amounts, healthier foods at the same time. Nutrition, vitamin B and D is very important. Dry fruits is a good supplement to have. This is for the body side.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Next
That's
is
why mummy used to give akhroat and badam during exams.
टेबल रखते थे ना साथ में ही खा गया. The point is सिर्फ एग्जाम वाले दिन देने से कुछ नहीं होगा. पहले से देना शुरू कर दो तब वो एग्जाम वाले दिन काम करेगा. Right? So these practices need to be put at least 1-2 months. It is a healthy practice to have it every day. Right?
Yeah.
So it should be a part of your life, but at least when you're already knowing that you're
Correct.
going to
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Next, what you can do is mindfulness breaks. Okay, now what that is simply put 3 or 4 alarms in your day. ठीक है, एक 10 बजे बजाए, 1 बजे बजाए, 4 बजे बजाए, 7 बजे बजाए, and this everybody should do. As soon as the bell rings, either you do breathing and everything, whatever is convenient for you. Otherwise, you can do a full grounding practice. So, what is a grounding practice? Where you use your senses to bring your attention in the present moment. Now, I'll ask you a simple question. Whenever you are stressed, are you stressed about the past, the future, or the present? It is always future.
What will happen to this? What will happen to that?
Exactly, right? So to bring your mind from the future to the present moment is effectively what is mindfulness. It's a very fancy, name of, oh my God, what we are doing. कुछ नहीं कर रहे हैं, ध्यान वहां से यहाँ लगा रहे हैं. Okay. Now, simply by thinking, it won't happen. So we use our own body to achieve that. Okay. So it's a simple technique. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have 5 senses. Number भी याद नहीं रहे. Simply एक काम करो. Open your eyes, look around. Name one thing that you can see. You can try it right now also. Okay. So as I'm directing, just do it and see how it feels. Keep your back straight. Okay.
Yeah, straight.
Now name 5 things that you can look around in your room. That's it.
Okay.
Chair, you have to verbally say it. Yeah.
Chair, dining table, stool, TV, pillow, center table.
Perfect. Now close your eyes and listen to 4 sounds. Okay. Tell me, what can you hear?
I can hear the traffic outside. I can hear my father speaking inside. That's it. Just 2 sounds over here.
Pick one. Close your eyes. Pick one. We have to do 4. So 2 more.
Okay. So
maybe your own breathing. Notice.
Okay. Yeah. I can hear you as well.
Yes, definitely. Can you see your awareness coming in the present moment?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
One more. Give me one more.
Okay. I can hear the lift outside.
Perfect. Can you see how your mind came right now? Ki kya ho raha hai? When we anchored it, right? Yeah, so this was 5, then 4. Then you think of 3 things that you are touching right now. So where you are sitting.
Okay. On the carpet.
Foot, right?
Yeah.
So just feel the texture of your, clothes maybe.
Yeah.
When you see your mind is immediately attention idhar aa gaya na. It's nowhere else, right? Not on the questions, not on the life. You're literally thinking about this.
Yeah.
Right? Yes. Then there are 2 things. You can do smell or you can do taste, your choice. Literally keep chocolate ka piece yahan pe. Put a chocolate in your mouth and your awareness is here. Keep a good perfume here. You can just smell it as soon as you want.
Nice. Really nice. Yeah.
Simple, right?
I'm going to start doing this for sure.
It's a wonderful take. This actually helps in panic attacks also. So if you're having a proper anxiety attack, you do this grounding technique, it will help. But as of course, agar first time you anxiety attack karoge, it won't work. You need to build that stamina.
Yeah.
This is a beautiful grounding technique. And even if numbers yaad nahi rahe, ye to pata hai na kaun si senses hai.
Yeah.
Try to use them. Say as many as you can. Your attention will come back. And then finish it off with 3 deep breaths. And also, when you're trying to relax, breathe in from the nose, out from the mouth. Okay. 3 of them, stress is gone. Okay.
Lovely,
Of
lovely.
course, you can start pranayam and all. They are wonderful practices for and another one. This is called bumblebee breath. Hindi में ब्रह्मारी बोलते हैं.
Okay.
Very good for concentration and relaxation for students, especially. It's
Okay.
that one where you close your ears and do like this and breathe with that humming noise.
Oh,
So you take it in, and when you're breathing out, it make that beat.
Okay, yeah.
Beautiful practice for concentration as well as relaxation. So these are some of the things that you can do every day. And like I said, instead of 30 minutes at a time, that is definitely good. Do it multiple times of the day. And even when you're giving the exam shuru karne se pehle, and in between when you feel कि अभी थोड़ा ज्यादा हो रहा है, have a habit like that. Exam देते हुए भी 1 minute का pause will not cost you anything.
Yeah, exactly. It will probably bring you back into the exam only. Yeah.
Definitely. So 1 hour is over, just pen रख के आँख बंद करके 2 लंबी सांस लिया, then come back to it. You'll see your performance goes up.
Amazing. I have to be honest, I wasn't expecting these techniques, but they really sound good, and I'm definitely going to try them for myself. Exam knowing.
Good for everybody. Yeah. This is good for everybody. But then we are talking in context of kids, so I've given in that way. Yeah. There are many more, and just one add to it. Have it written. What all you need to do, have it, like we do a to-do list, right? That is definitely, very helpful in managing the stress.
That is something.
It gives you the orientation.
Yeah.
So every night,
daily bread and butter.
Yeah.
If I don't write it down, I will probably never finish anything. So it just keeps boggling your mind, right? So yeah.
Even if I have a digital calendar, even if I have an assistant sending me, ye pencil or diary mein pe padi hai. It doesn't feel right until I have written it there. So yeah, having such habits, definitely, it really scales your productivity. No doubts about it. Yeah.
So, doctor, now that we, finished with the exam part of it, now we are talking about the results part of it, because that is another story altogether where, being stressful is concerned, and probably, between the exam and the results, the child has sleepless nights wondering what is going to happen, because you cannot, no matter how much you do the question paper counting at the end of the exam, you don't know really what you are going to get. ये answer क्या था?
I know. And trust me, जो classmates बताते हैं ना, वैसा result कभी भी नहीं आता है.
हाँ, exactly. So the whole point is that that it is the unknown, and you are anxious about it. So what are some things that parents can do to help their child during this time? That is most important, because the child himself, of course, they are still young, they don't know how to handle the stress, anxiety, but parents can play a great role here, right? So what is it that parents can help with over here?
Right. So one practice that my parents did with me, and I know now scientifically works, is appreciate the efforts. So what used to happen is, if results come, then we used to get a gift. But the day exams will finish, now we'll also get a gift.
Oh, wow.
It was the most beautiful thing that, my parents used to do. The day exams are finishing, we'll go shopping and buy whatever you want.
Wow.
Because the effort was appreciated.
Yeah.
And on the day of result, doesn't matter how you have scored, you're going to get what you want.
Yeah.
Because the year is over. Right? Now, that doesn't mean you splurge on them. Of course, you have to find your boundaries. But getting their mind off of it. So plan something. As soon as our exam khatam hai na, start talking about what we'll do after that.
Yeah.
Don't leave that vacuum. Don't leave that space where you can get stressed. So think about it. We'll go for a holiday, we'll go to a nanny house, we'll go for shopping, even a park, whatever. Start talking about what we need to do. And this is, a beautiful way for anything. When you are going into something difficult. So, for example, if I am unwell, what do the doctors tell? That's what they ask us to think about. Na?
Yeah.
If you get better, what do you want to do? Right? Same thing. So if this is over, doesn't matter what the result is. What is the next plan? Not in terms of academics again. What do you otherwise want to do? Have a bucket list ready. Summer vacations are coming. What will we do? That gives the kids some excitement.
Yeah.
And like I said, stop asking and discussing. Once the exam is over, ho gaya na, chal khatam kar, baat chal. Have that attitude that exams are just an exam and it is nothing more than that. If you will have it, the kids will develop it. And trust me, that makes the kids stronger. Because then a hurdle or a complication in life is just a situation that they need to deal with. Not a punishment कि उनके साथ में कुछ तो बुरा हो रहा है. This attitude is very important. So this is what we continue the relaxation exercises that we talked about because they are healthy practices. Add something positive to it, some hobby classes, whatever they are passionate about, give them the time to pursue that as well, because that's their real nature.
Yeah, actually, that's what, I mean, that's what next I was going to speak about, that would, involving the child in other activities, doing other extracurricular things, would that be helpful, during this time?
Definitely. And to be honest, it would help in that time also. So if you're working, studying for 12 hours, it's okay. Send them for 1 hour music class if that makes them happy. It's okay. They'll be much more enthusiastic about studies also then. Don't depend. See, our phone will stop working after one day if we don't feed the charger. Correct? These things that we do that make us happy are basically what is giving us the battery to survive. Na?
Yeah.
But then what happens is, this is important. We only do that and we forget what is relevant to us.
Yeah.
Right? So yes, exams and everything are a part of life, but don't make it life. Life is so much more than that.
Yeah.
So don't forget that perspective. Let them do what they want to do. If they love something, let's say they love painting, bring stuff home, let them paint even one day before exam. It will really, make them feel happy. And then let them go. I always used to dance before exam. So before I have to go for exam, in the morning, I'll put on some music. While getting ready, I used to dance. And great. All the exams went very well. So that helped. So whatever works for that kid, whatever, allow them that time and space to pursue that thing, because also, the other beautiful that will happen. So let's say I'm good at dancing, plus I'm good at academics. Even if there I become, not as good as I wanted, but then there's a good performance that I get.
Yeah.
Somewhere you get ego boost and confidence. I'm not less of a person.
You are not lacking in everything.
Pillars, we have pillars. A building, if it is only on one pillar, it will fall the day the pillar falls. But if you have 4 or 5 of them, even if one is a bit cracky or a bit wompy right now, you have 4 others controlled.
Exactly, yeah.
So make sure that they have those pillars.
Yeah, so maybe we can have this as our last topic that we are speaking about for.
You're always overtime with me, hai na?
Yeah. I know. No, that's okay. Actually, I don't realize the time at all, so I am really.
No, I anyways take it for granted, and if somebody will start talking to me, I won't shut up. So that's it.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. All the things that come out of you are so informative. It's great to listen. So maybe the last part can be a little bit about advice, not only generally for parents, but also, see, at the end of the day, I feel that parents do have this urge to have their children to succeed, or all those things. So it's difficult to cross that barrier into being so macro or above everything, that you would say that, okay, chalo, nahi hua, koi baat nahi hai, arey tu fikr mat kar. It's difficult to get to that level. It's not easy. So what would be your advice to parents to be able to, if not reach that optimum level, but at least try to get there, and not be worried about, general society or log kya kahenge, or arey mera beta, padta nahi hai. Those problems, how can they overcome? Because at the end of the day, it is the reality that happens with parents, right? So,
I need 3 sessions to solve this problem, but I'll give the introduction of how the solution would come. Okay? Because this is not an easy thing, and I do agree. The practicality suggests otherwise, but I also disagree with this fact that practically suggests this. To be very honest, it's not true. If you don't succeed in academics, you will fail as a person. It's not true.
Right.
And especially the field that I am in, the consequences of living up to those expectations are much more.
Right.
I've seen kids in depression. I've seen kids in anxiety. So let's say they do succeed and I literally have people from IIT coming for sessions, and they have no idea what to do now. Right? So what's the use of that IIT right now? Right? So there's a fundamental change that needs to happen, that we need to stop defining success by a materialistic success.
Right.
Academics, the college that you get or the package that you get later, it is all, it's nothing. It's just the numbers that you show. Is your kid happy doing that? right? And it's not just with academics. Marriage mein yahi hota hai na, they keep on asking you to suffer a marriage just because of society. Society kaun hai? Who are they? They're nothing.
Yeah.
They are just noise. They are just complications. You do not forget that you protect your own. Even an animal knows that if it's my kid, I will not let anybody else or anything else influence it, right? Have you seen a lion? Aake dikhao uske paas mein. Right? The dogs are the most loving people towards the humans, right? Dogs are the most loving towards humans. You see a female dog who has given a birth, she'll bite you like anything. If you touch the puppy. That same owner, she will bite. If she harms the kid. So if they are so sensible, what are we doing?
Yeah.
The problem is our ego is attached with the kids' result.
Yeah.
It is not about the kids' result. It's about, mere bacche ne kya kiya. That's just sad. Yeah. You are shallow, and I'm sorry I'm using this word, but yes, it is the fact that you are unfulfilled in your own life and you're putting that baggage on that small kid. Sad. So you need to, like I said, I'll need at least 3 sessions to help them understand how to change the mindset, because we need to see success differently. Very differently. And we can actually talk about it. I have a 2-year-old. I'm not even putting him in school. I'm going to homeschool him. I don't believe in education system at all.
Wow. That's a big step.
It is a huge step for me. I actually have to reduce my practice just so I can homeschool him. And I'm willing to do that because that's my own. And if, like I said, animals are so smart to protect their own kind like that, what are humans doing? I don't understand. How is it that a neighbor ka opinion becomes more important than your kid's opinion for that?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we stop trusting our own and we start listening to people outside. That's probably one of the biggest barriers.
Yes. So then you have to ask yourself, stop asking the kid what the problem is. Ask yourself what the problem is. Yes. But it's a very difficult concept to have because, as parents, we think that we know better, but we don't.
Not necessarily.
We don't.
Okay, great, doctor. As usual, it has been an amazing session with you.
Thank you so much.
I'm really very impressed with the techniques that you gave us, and 100% going to manage to do it every single day. So any last
one of them and build the habit and then keep on adding. Then it sticks. Otherwise, 5-6 din karenge and then we forget. That's the idea.
I mean, if you anyways you go to do anything which is for larger time, it doesn't stick with you. So
true. Yes. Perfect.
Done. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your presence.
Most welcome.
It's been a pleasure.
Yes. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.